Luck confirmed his new job, and the role involves everything Stanford football touches, football-wise and business-wise. Do you like that, Ocho?
Hey, I love the move.
Well, most Hoosiers remember him as the signal caller for the Indianapolis Colts. Now, Andrew Luck, the general manager of Stanford football. Luck, one of many big names landing jobs as GM in college athletics. Mary Rachel Redman here now with what's driving this role of GM in the college ranks.
Well, Gary, that's right. Across the country, college football is undergoing a seismic shift. The pressures of recruiting and player development in the era of NIL and the transfer portal have led several major programs to rethink their approach. Enter the general manager, once a role exclusive to the NFL and most professional leagues, but not anymore.
Georgia swaggers in as the biggest favorite.
College football goes pro? No, not really, but it sure does sound that way. Take, for instance, North Carolina, who now has a head coach with the last name Belichick and a GM named Lombardi.
Arnold to the end zone.
Or even Oklahoma, who's brought in former AT&T CEO Randall Stevenson. Either way, there's no doubt about it. The business of college football is now on a whole new level entering 2025 with teams' payrolls upwards of $20 million.
General manager is a new position to collegiate athletics. And over the years, it's just kind of been shaping and making more and more sense to have a general manager be a part of it, as college athletics has shifted to a more pro model-like organization.
Purdue has embraced their front office-like approach, recently hiring Brandon Lee as its general manager. The Indianapolis native and former Lawrence Central football standout played college ball at Missouri. He comes to West Lafayette after serving as associate athletic director for student-athlete brand strategy and innovation at Mississippi State.
Obviously, being a head football coach is a tall task in itself. And there's just been more and more piled on to that role over the years. There's a lot of moving parts in college athletics. There's, the NIL side of it. There's the rev share that's coming up. And then there's the transfer portal, and there's recruiting and scouting. Mentioned all of that, and I haven't even mentioned coaching. I think the general manager role is someone that's able to be trusted in that position to take those things off of their plate so that they can focus on the traditional foundational pieces of coaching and being a head ball coach.
And as college football becomes more about winning the transfer portal and banking NIL deals, Lee says his role is to serve as somewhat of a buffer.
The idea of it is to separate the two, where coaches can coach, and then the general manager is doing the general management of those relationships, contracts, negotiations, all those different things. Because when you mix the two, that's when it gets a little bit messy. We've seen that in these past couple of years of coaching, and we've seen some coach exhaustion. We've seen disruption amongst teams as well across the country.
So the rise in popularity of the general manager in college athletics is a natural next step.
I look at football specifically as becoming more kind of an executive group of an organization, and there's just more and more departments that are more lasered in focus on those areas so that you don't miss, because at this level, as fast-paced as college football works, you don't have time to miss. You don't have time to miss your targets. Otherwise, that will set you back from the inside working it, and then also outside from alumni, donors, fans, anybody who's affiliated with this institution, specifically at Purdue or at other institutions. Nobody wants to see you miss. Nobody wants to, be put back a year or two, or look at the long-term picture. They want results. It's a results-driven industry. So we want to win now. That's our goal, and it takes that laser focus.
Very interesting indeed, the business model changing in college sports. And Brandon Lee, no stranger to new Purdue football coach Barry Odom, right?
That's right. He played for him at Missouri.
All right.
So they've got a lot in common.
All right. Thanks very much, Mary Rachel.